How to counter the new killer Jason. First of all, Jason has a slower base movement speed at 4.4 meters per second, much like Huntress and Springtrap. But also like those two killers, he does also have a projectile, which along with his stealth ability are his two main powers. His projectile attack is a spear, which you can obtain from hooks, and also from scrap piles around the map. The spears he gets from the hook do leave you broken, whereas the spears he gets from the scrap piles just leave you injured. An obvious tip is to sway side to side and be unpredictable with your movement whenever he's charging up his spear. Another thing to keep in mind is that he can also see the aura of the spear whenever it's in a survivor. So remember that he'll easily be able to tell exactly where you are behind a wall if you do still have the spear in you. Whenever he gets a spear from the hook will temporarily be sabotaged. And whenever he gets a spear from a scrap pile, he won't be able to get it back from that specific scrap pile until he uses his stealth ability. So loops that don't have any hooks or scrap piles nearby are much safer against Jason. Also, loops with no hooks nearby and a scrap pile can be safe if there's just a scrap pile that's already been used. In this case, he'll obviously need to come out of his stealth ability for the spear to respawn in that specific scrap pile. But moving on to his stealth ability, as mentioned previously, whenever he enters then exits his stealth ability, the scrap piles will be respawned with a new spear, but there's also way more to this ability. Whenever Jason enters his stealth ability, he will become invisible and can zoom around the map extremely fast. Also, he can only exit his stealth ability by teleporting to a window or pallet location, even if that pallet has already been used. After exiting his stealth ability, whichever window he teleports to will be temporarily blocked, and it also blocks the pallet he teleports to if there is still one up. But if the pallet is already down, then he'll instead break that pallet. On top of that, he also gets haste after coming out of his stealth ability as well. Whenever he is using his stealth ability, he can also detect footprints of any nearby survivor walking or running. This means moving around by crouching will prevent your footprints from being shown, but please don't crouch around the map to avoid being spotted when he's in his stealth ability. It'll just waste way too much time, and unless he's nearby, he's not even going to see your footprints anyway. The only time I'd recommend playing extremely immersive like this is if the entire team has been down and you're the last one alive and also injured. Other than that, you'll be fine to run around for the most part whenever he is in his power.